Okay. Honestly, what a week. If you've been watching my daily shorts, you know I usually squeeze the news into 60 seconds. But today, yeah, today's different. There's too much going on to fit into a minute, so we're doing a deeper breakdown. Because if you glanced at the news this week, you probably saw the headlines. The Middle East is now in a high intensity conflict involving Iran, Israel, and the United States. And honestly, it's a lot to take in. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Tammy, that's thousands of miles away. Why should I care when I'm just trying to manage daily expenses here in Nigeria? Fair question. But what happened this week isn't just international news. It's already affecting what you pay for transport, fuel, and food. The global economy is tightly connected, and right now, the energy market is under serious pressure. So let's break down what happened and why your wallet may already be feeling it. First, the recap. Last Sunday, things shifted in Tehran when Iran appointed a new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, a hardliner who signaled continued confrontation with Western forces. That immediately raised tensions across the region. Then, the focus moved to the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway where about 20% of the world's oil passes every single day. This week, Iran effectively blocked parts of that route. Think about that. 1/5 of global oil supply suddenly under threat. By Friday, the United States and Israel launched strikes targeting Karg Island, the center of Iran's oil export system. When you hit the main export hub, supply disruptions become inevitable. By Saturday, the conflict expanded further with heavy exchanges in Lebanon. At that point, it was clear the situation had escalated across multiple fronts. Now let's bring this back to Nigeria. On the surface, rising oil prices should benefit us. Nigeria is an oil-producing country, so higher global prices usually mean more revenue. Brent crude surged towards $120 before settling closer to $90. Nigeria's budget assumed oil around $65 per barrel, so every barrel exported right now brings in much more than expected. On paper, that looks like a win for government revenue and foreign reserves. But here's the problem. Nigeria still imports a large amount of refined fuel, the petrol used in cars and generators. When global oil prices rise, the cost of fuel here rises too. That's why pump prices have jumped from around 800 naira to well over 1,300 in some places. And in Nigeria, there's a simple rule. When fuel prices go up, everything else follows. Transport fares rise, delivery costs increase, and the trucks moving food across the country pay more for diesel. Those costs get passed down to consumers, so your salary suddenly buys less than it did just days ago. It doesn't stop there. The Middle East is also a key supplier for fertilizer and agricultural inputs. As tensions rise, fertilizer prices are already climbing globally. That makes farming more expensive and eventually pushes food prices higher. But there's another factor people overlook: investor psychology. When global conflicts escalate, investors become nervous. Money often leaves emerging markets and moves into safer assets like gold or the US dollar. So even if Nigeria earns more from oil exports, global uncertainty can still pressure the economy and the currency. Now let's talk about the naira. You might think higher oil revenue automatically strengthens it. But if inflation rises faster than foreign exchange earnings, the real value of the currency can still weaken. It's like filling a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Money flows in, but rising prices drain purchasing power at the same time. So the bottom line is this: Nigeria may earn more revenue during this crisis, but ordinary citizens could still feel the pain through higher fuel, transport, and food costs. It's a strange paradox. Living in an oil-producing country where rising oil prices make daily life more expensive. If you run a business, now is the time to be careful with expenses and logistics. And if you're managing a personal budget, leave some breathing room for possible price increases over the next few weeks. I'll be watching the Naira and energy prices closely as this situation develops. A lot is moving quickly right now, and I'll keep you updated as things unfold. And I'm curious, have you noticed price increases where you live this week? Is it fuel, transport, food, or everything? Let me know in the comments so we can see what people across the country are experiencing. Anyway, thanks for listening to the breakdown. Stay informed, stay smart, and try not to let the stress of the news overwhelm you too much. We'll get through it. I'll see you in the next one.